Hey, John Prevost here for WhistleBiz.com. Thanks again for tuning in. Today is part 12 of the pod series, Passion, Ownership, and Dedication series. Specifically, we're into level 3 of this pod series. We're talking about how do we get people that are working closely with products, even closer to the business and products that they help develop or manage. And how do we create that emotional link between them? So far, we've talked about two things in level 3. Number one is being able to provide forums for people to give their opinions and be heard by the business, the strategy, as well as the products. And we also talked about being able to lead with inquisitiveness, or a culture of questions, to be able to create dialogue between people that are doing the work and the actual business and products themselves. Today we're going to be talking about focus, and specifically product focus. First of all, what do we mean by that? We mean within the departments that are executing work for a product itself, we need a primary representative. If it's product X over here, and it needs a designer, a copywriter, a PR guy, and a developer, then from each one of those departments, we need to have a primary for that product. So why do we need to do this? Well, number one, it just makes financial sense. Depending on wherever that product is as far as profitability or revenue goes within the organization, that's where we should be putting more resources. That just makes sense, right? Number two is it helps communication within the organization for everybody to understand Bob is the designer that works on that product. I know exactly to go to him if I have a question about this style sheet or something like that. Number three, it helps with context switching. This is a killer. Obviously, interruptions is a killer. If I go into a department and there's 12 designers there, I don't know which one's working on a specific product, or they're a primary on that product, then I'll have to interrupt about 8 of them, right, to be able to get to the right one. And interruptions are a killer. Unnecessary interruptions are a killer, obviously, for efficiency. And then number 4, of course, is the ownership. Putting somebody's name on a product makes them care about the product. We've talked about that before. It just makes sense, right? And lastly, how do we implement this? Well, basically, if you're an independent contributor, if you're a person on a team, all you need to do is be able to ask you may not know why, know how much revenue or profitability is, taking place on certain products, but you know that you have 36 projects and you have these products and you have these 2 small products over here and they're costing 50% of your time, right? To go back to the manager and say, listen, we're spending all of our time over here, right? This is the squeaky wheel. Should we be looking more over here? Should we have primaries? Should we have, be more directed in this focus? Is a great thing to bring up to the manager. And if you don't want to take that route, then you can just go and say, I want to step up and say, listen, I know that this product is about 95% of our revenue, or it's what we care about the most. So can I be the primary on that, right? And just take that extra responsibility. The responsibility is going to help you, right? And it's also going to help the organization. But you have to take another higher step to be able to do that. Number 2, if you're a manager, if you're a hiring manager, if you have a department, it's time to sit down and really look at the products that you're working on and look how they feed into the revenue and profitability within your organization. And that should really help you understand where you need to stagger your resources and so forth. Let's kill the squeaky wheel, right? The squeaky wheel that comes into your department that is, down here on the totem pole, but they use this many of your resources. If you can just, be able to split out your resources and be able to say, listen, we're giving Jim and Tom over here just for this product, even though we have only 6 designers, we're giving a third of our department over here, because guess what? This is a lot more than a third of our revenue, maybe, right? That would be a good example of it. And that's a great, concrete way to be able to mitigate against people coming in and having their feelings hurt, right? Because you say you're not going to do some work for them. So it's a great way to manage expectations within the organization. So that's it for today. Let me know how that goes. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.